Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs, and it's time to talk about Sam Williams, who is a signing day flip for Mizzou. Before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. Right, so Sam Williams was committed to Wake Forest for months. He committed, I want to say, back in April. So there wasn't a whole lot of buzz around him because he was committed to Wake Forest, and it was over and done with, so it seemed. But Coach Drink flipped him on signing day, kind of out of nowhere. So let's talk about him. Sam Williams is 6'4", 265 pounds. He is from Hogansville, Georgia, Callaway High School. Hogansville is about halfway between Auburn, Alabama, and Atlanta. So kind of very west Georgia, kind of west central Georgia there. Small town. Anyway, he is a defensive end who kind of projects more to the defensive line, interior defensive tackle. And in high school, he also played a little tight end. We'll talk about that. According to Rivals, they've got him as a 5.5 rated 3-star, and 24/7 Sports has him as an 85 rated 3-star. So squarely right in the middle, 3-star kind of. Not really pushing being a 4-star, but also not really close to being back at a 2-star. So good solid 3-star there. His offer list. Again, with him having been committed to Wake Forest for so long, there may be more schools who offered or at least spent more time recruiting him if he weren't committed. All these other schools saw he was committed and more than respecting his commitment just said, well, I'm not going to waste my time. You know, it's so competitive. You gotta allocate your time and resources and all that where you think it's going to be, where it's going to pay off. Anyway, what schools did offer him, besides Mizzou and Wake Forest, you're looking at Colorado. Now, this is pre-Coach Prime, so who knows if that offer would have stood up with Prime. Anyway, also talking about Stanford, Indiana, West Virginia. So a few other Power 5 schools. You know me, smart schools always stand out at academies, good schools. So Stanford always kind of stands out to me. So that's good. He's not an idiot. When I looked at Williams' film, there was a few things that stood out to me. One, there were clips of him at tight end. So he's got the speed to play tight end and be somewhat effective at it. His huddle page listed him at 4'8" in the 40, which if he can maintain that speed and play defensive tackle, that's great. At defensive end, he did a good job keeping his outside shoulder free and did a good job of just kind of stringing things out so that the running back or the quarterback scrambling or whatever was going side to side and not able to cut upfield and go north-south. So all he's doing is stringing them out and just waiting for help, which is what you want your defensive end to do. So that's great. He did play a lot of defensive tackle, even at the high school level. At 265 in high school, I think most expect him to just throw on extra weight and end up close to 300 pounds on the interior. 265 is a big defensive end already. So, yeah. But played a lot. More often than not, he was right over the right guard, you know, in a four-man defensive front. And what I saw more than anything is he just would not be moved. He would just hold his ground and just muddy things up along the line of scrimmage. And wherever he was, there was not a hole for the running back to run through. And that's really the one thing you want your defensive tackles to do. Now, he also sometimes would get off the ball just so fast that the opposing offensive line had no chance. He would be in the backfield before the center or right guard or whoever had a chance to react. And part of that was, I think it was high school kids just kind of falling into a rhythm and not being, you know, as educated in football. And what I mean by that is you'd see a quarterback who would give kind of either clap his hands or give a signal or whatever, and the tempo, the rhythm of quarterback signal to center snapping it was always the same. He'd pick up on it, and he'd be moving as the ball snapped. So good on him for figuring that out. Yeah, he would do that, and some other defenders on his team would do that. I think that, he also would get upfield. He could just bulldoze his way 3-4 steps into the offensive backfield. He's just stronger than whoever he was matched up against. So that was good to see. I think his game translates more to the interior, more than as a defensive end. He's not a speed rusher or anything like that. He's got the power where he could, I guess, be kind of a bulldozer pass rusher, but I like his game more on the interior, and I think that's where we're going to see Sam Williams. For Missouri, more defensive line help, reinforcing what is becoming one of the strong points of this team. And hey, it's a good way to cap off the class of 2023. At this point, the early signing day is over with. Late signing day still to come in February, yes. But there's not going to be a ton. Most of the open spots are probably going to be transfers. So the high school recruiting class probably done and over with now, with Williams joining the fray on signing day. That's all I've got for this video, guys. Thanks for checking us out. See y'all next time.